Hello, everyone. Hey, Juanita. Hey, Jenna. Hey, Jennifer. Hey, Donna. Let me know if you are watching and where you're watching from. Hey, Christy. I'm just going to set my camera so you can see what I'm doing. Thanks for hanging out with me today. I'm gonna do this little Dollar Tree DIY pizza pan. I've seen a lot of people paint them, and so I'm gonna try. I've never done it before, so y'all are gonna be here first. Washington and Michigan, cold. We are having a beautiful sunny day here in Texas. It's so pretty outside. I love it. It makes me excited for spring. So I've never painted one of these before, but I see people do it all the time, and I am excited to try it out with you guys. Could be a total disaster, could be great. You know, there's no telling. So let's see here. I plugged my laptop in this time, so the battery won't die and I won't lose people. Anyway, let's see here. Jenna said she got her new iPad and her popsicle page made with you in Procreate. It's perfect wallpaper. It is a cute wallpaper. That is cute. I did something similar with, what did I do? Suckers one time, and it was really cute. Hey, Addie. Hey, Robin. Yeah, I'm excited to see what I'm going to do with it too, because, you know, I don't know. Usually when I do a project, I like to do a project, do it first before I teach it. Today, you're just getting the teaching only, teaching first. So it might be quite interesting. You never can tell. Hey, Jessica. Let's see. All right. So I just literally thought of this idea. Well, okay. So a few ladies in my painting membership, we were kind of talking about this on Thursday nights, which is when we have our meetings, or I do a Facebook Live in there on Thursday nights, kind of show them same kind of stuff I do on here, but just a little bit more in depth. And we were kind of talking about what to do and what I could do. And they gave me some good ideas. But, you know, I have to put, hey, Jessica, I have to put my own spin on it, you know. How could I just have my own business and then just, you know, totally copy somebody's idea? So anyway, so this morning I was like just sitting here thinking, okay, what am I going to do? What design am I going to do? And then I literally just thought of this at like 1:30 maybe. So we'll see how it goes. But, you know, this, I'm going to do something with these, and that's going to be interesting. I don't know if that's going to turn out or not, but we'll see. So I just kind of like threw a supply list together. Obviously, you know, it can be improvised, but so I made this cute little bow. Isn't this so cute? We're going to do watermelon, a watermelon theme. Okay. So I was thinking that we would paint this white, and then I have this little lettering worksheet that I made up. It's kind of just, you know, I usually try to perfect it a little bit more, but I didn't have time. So I did include this in the pictures on the post, so you can just like screenshot it and print it out, and it should work good. And we're gonna just letter this on here. So we'll see how it goes. I thought it was super cute, and it got me super excited about crafting and crafty things. And I thought if it got me super excited about it, it's probably going to get you super excited about it. So that's always a good thing, right? Okay, so first we're going to paint this white. And if you guys have questions along the way, just ask them in the chat and I will try to stop periodically and answer any questions that you might have. I'm going to use this as my favorite Waverly chalk acrylic. It's kind of a mix between chalk and acrylic paint. It covers the best that I've seen of paint. So for white. So I use it, I get it at Walmart. Always have trouble opening it because the chalk really sometimes seals it really good. So anyhow, so I'm going to first paint this all, maybe except for this edge right here, white. All right. And again, I've never painted one of these, so I have no idea how it's going to turn out, but I see people doing it all the time. So I can imagine if they can do it, I can do it, right? And I'm just using this big chunky paintbrush that I got from Walmart. So a lot of things I tell my my painting students is, I don't know if you can see, but a lot of times the brushes will have like these like bristles that will be going all different directions. And I just get my scissors and just chop them off because it's distracting to me. And if paint gets, it's like sometimes it can mess up what you're painting. You have like some bristle that's like going this way and it can get on your sign where you don't want it to be. So just had to do that real quick. So I just going to go after this here. It's a little bit streaky. With that being said, I might try to do this. Sometimes it looks a little like you can see the paint streaks in it a lot, but as you put like a second coat on it, it kind of makes those disappear. So I'm hoping that will be the case for this. We'll see. Watch there be like some crazy trick to this and I don't know about it. And then here I am, the paint teacher, messing up, but hopefully not. There's just a bristle in here. I'm just getting as far close to this lip right here as I can. If I get it on that part, it's fine because I'm just going to paint that green. But sometimes if you paint white first and then paint a color over it, it could actually make that color just a little bit lighter. And so I don't want it to be lighter than the other green that I'm going to be painting. It looks like I could just easily wipe it off though. So if that happens, let me know in the chat if any of you guys have ever painted one of these. So I got this at Dollar Tree, little pizza pan. I see a lot of people doing this. So, and it does make a cute little like round, I think, sign. I probably would, if I wasn't teaching this, I probably would be tempted to maybe spray it with some spray paint or like, there's this chalk spray paint. A chalky finish is what it's called. And I really like that a lot. I think it covers really good. So it's probably what I would do, but we're painting to see here. Jenna said, you got this. Juanita said, love all your lettering. Do you do all your lettering and designs in Procreate? Yes, Juanita. I used to not. I used to just freehand them on the sign. And then I would get, so I did that for years. And then I figured out I could get like some tracing paper. And so I would put tracing paper on top of the sign and I would letter on the tracing paper and then transfer that design onto the sign. So I could get like my spacing and things like that good. And then I started lettering the designs in Procreate and then creating a digital template from that. So I started doing that like, I want to say like probably right about 2 years ago. So had my business since 2014. So I didn't even start using the tracing paper until we'll say like probably 2019. And then 2020, I started doing it in Procreate. And here I am now. Much easier. It would have saved me so much time because I used to do paint parties all the time. And I would do all the lettering on the signs for the people. And if I would have had those templates and known about that, I could have had them do that part. So, you know, even when you own a business and are experienced, that just goes to show you that you're still learning things all the time. I still learn stuff all the time. And I'm like, how did I not know that? How did I not know that? So never stop learning. Yeah, Procreate is just a really good resource because, you know, when you do it in Procreate, you can kind of make adjustments, get it exactly the way that you want, and then, you know, print it out. I will say that I letter better if I just do it with a pencil and paper. But now that I'm used to Procreate, like it's so nice because you don't have to like, you know, you can just undo something if you need to, or you can like select it and like move it. So it just really offers a lot more options for you as far as lettering goes. And having Procreate, so I got my iPad in at the end of 2017. I was gonna say 27. At the end of 2017, and my lettering has substantially changed and gotten so much better since I got Procreate, just because it's allowed me the ability to make corrections. So I'm a firm believer that if you do, like when you're lettering, do it in pencil and erase like the areas that, you know, you don't like or whatever. It almost just helps you like remember what you're erasing, what you're redoing. It gives you the ability to, you know, when you just letter something in marker, it just is what it is, right? You're not going to go back and change it because you can't. But when you letter in pencil, you can kind of take a step back and go and look at it and say, okay, what could be better? What could I change? What could I do differently? Well, you can do that so much easier in Procreate. So it's really afforded me the opportunity to really, you know, make those corrections. And so that helped me kind of experiment and see, like, what am I constantly having to fix, you know? And so you start to think about this as you're lettering. After a while, you'll start thinking about it and you'll be like, oh, I always need to fix this. So let me try to troubleshoot that before it happens so that, you know, I don't have to fix it. So I think it really helps, you know, contrary, we don't want to think about it, but, you know, practice makes perfect, right? And, you know, learning from your mistakes is a really good way to learn. So, yeah, it's been very helpful for that reason. It's greatly improved my lettering. I'm thinking I should have maybe used a sponge so that I didn't have like these like brush marks. It's probably me just being picky, but you know, it's who I am. So Juanita says, I do some vinyl work with my Cricut. Can you make the lettering phrase in Procreate and make an SVG to use with Cricut? Yes, you can. So I have still a Silhouette software. I don't really hardly ever use it. I have like the very first Silhouette ever made. And I got it, and I used to use it a long time ago for like stencils and things like that, but I don't ever use it very often. Make shirts every now and then for myself. But so my Silhouette software allows you, I don't know if Cricut does or not. I need to ask one of the girls that works for me because she has a Cricut. I need to ask her. Anyway, the Silhouette it has the ability to, if you get the business edition, you can turn the file into an SVG file in Silhouette. Otherwise, you would need to do it like in Adobe Illustrator. But so you save it in Procreate with a transparent background as a PNG. And then I just pull it into my Silhouette software and trace it and then create an SVG with it. And you can change the vectors and things like that. I'm just not great at Adobe Illustrator, honestly. I could learn it, but it's just a lot of work. So I just use Silhouette just because it's easier and whatever. So yeah, I create those SVG files, and then you could use those to cut and to laser your stuff. So Juanita, if you know how to use Adobe Illustrator, or if your Cricut software will turn something into an SVG, then you could just do it that way. Otherwise, Adobe Illustrator, you could turn it into an SVG and cut it with your Cricut stuff. So, okay, this is a little splotchy, as you can see. I don't know if everybody has this problem. It's probably just white, and because it's white on the middle. Wonder if I should have painted a primer. It's probably going overboard just for a Dollar Tree pan. So I'm going to paint this green right here, this top piece here. Hey, Carrie. Hey, Sarah. Real quick, I'm just going to put I'm going to try to twist this. Sorry, my Siri on my watch was just talking. I was like, what's happening? I'm going to try to twist this on the edge. I don't know if it's going to work because, I'm going to have to glue it on, and obviously it's plastic, and not really sure how that's really going to work with the hot glue gun, but we're going to try. I'm going to attempt it anyway. We'll see what happens. So now I'm just going to take this green, and it doesn't need to be perfect. Hopefully that works, and it's going to cover up most of this, but if it doesn't, obviously I think chalk paint will work better. I was just using this green as just acrylic paint. I'm going to do something else. So it obviously doesn't coat as well as the white did, but I saw people online using acrylic paint. So this is just a little sponge dauber, and now I can just kind of block quicker. It does put a thinner coat of paint on your sign. It's the only downfall to it, but I feel like it goes so much faster that it saves you time. Okay. I'm just going to plug this hair dryer in and use it real fast so that you guys don't have to sit and wait. One of these days, I'm going to get really good with these lives, and I'm going to have like one already made in the stage so I can pull it out and be like, okay, let's just pretend like it's already coated well and things are great. But I'm not prepared enough to do that at this point. So y'all just gonna have to be with me in the process. Juanita said, what's the brand of chalk paint that I use? Waverly. And you can get it at Walmart. You can get it on Amazon. I might have some linked on my Amazon list, but just be careful that you're not like overpaying for it. That they have like these smaller little containers for like, I want to say this is like maybe $5. And that big one is like 10. No, that doesn't sound right. Maybe this is $2.50. $2.50 maybe. The price has gone up on everything, so I don't know what it is now, but it's not too bad. It's obviously more expensive than the acrylic paint, but it covers better, so you're not using as much of it. So I feel like it, you know, it probably at the end of the day is a little bit more expensive, but not really that much. Okay. Carrie said she ran to Dollar Tree during her conference period yesterday, walked back into school at a lockdown. Oops. Oopsie. You're like, oh, I just had to go to Dollar Tree. Sorry. That's more important. So I'm just kind of covering this white, like, just one more time. God love this white. Just on the areas where you can kind of see a little bit of streakiness. I just, you know, I know a lot of people that paint, they can just be okay with that, but I'm just not. I'm sorry, I'm just not. I try really hard to just be like, let it go. Don't need to put another coat of paint on that. Like, it's so hard. So the downfall of watching me paint is you got to watch me put probably too many coats of paint on something. Sorry. Okay. All right, and the green is a little streaky, but I'm leaving that because hopefully my idea will work with the mesh, hopefully. I'm putting some of this white back in here because I got too much out. I used to just toss it, but I didn't anymore. Things are too expensive. Diane said she's the same way. Good. I know. I really, yeah, I am when it comes to stuff like this. I'm type A with a lot of like crafts or organization stuff. I am, but I'm not that way with other things. So it's a balance, I guess. I don't know. Okay. I'm going to run the hairdryer over this one more time. Real quick. I need to get a little heat gun. Okay. And while that's drying really fast, I want to, well, that's finished drying. I just grabbed this a little piece of cardboard. Never done this before, but I know it's going to work. And you can get anything to trace a, I'm going to grab this marker because it's what I have available. I'm just going to use this as a circle. But I usually, I mean, obviously I have stencils, but before I had that, I would just find something in my house that was round and I would trace it. Like so many, for so many years, like certain things on signs, I was like, how I made it. The template, it was, yeah, that's my dinner plate that I would, you know, trace. So I usually just do that. Find something round and trace it. When I first started out, that's just what I did all the time. Okay, so I just wanted to get a circle on here. And then I'm just gonna draw a line down the middle. I might cut this out to make like a half of a watermelon shape. Obviously, if you have an X-Acto knife, use that, but which I do, but it's over there. So I'm just going to use scissors. I try to use what I think other people have handy at home. So I don't want to show you how to do something with supplies that you probably don't have. So I try to be mindful about that. You know, it's not a perfect half circle, but it'll do. We're going to paint these and make them little halves of watermelons. I'm glad you find me funny, Diane. Glad somebody does. Okay. By the way, if you ever need to practice painting, poster board or cardboard, it's a good little practice, good practice to get. Okay, so I'm gonna paint these red. We're gonna see how it goes. If that red doesn't work, I'm gonna use the chalk acrylic red, but hopefully this works. And I'm just getting cardboard because I thought about like, oh, I could get like a little wood cutout or something, but y'all don't have a machine to get a wood cutout. So I'm like, what could I use? Oh, I'll use cardboard. We're making this easy. I'm trying to make it easy, inexpensive craft. So if I added a bunch of stuff like that, it would kind of defeat the purpose, right? Like get the pizza pan from Dollar Tree, but everything else is going to cost you a lot. Trying not to do that. And those of you that are members, the Sign Maker Society, which is my painting membership, there's a few of them watching. Those of you members, after I was like thinking of ideas for this, I was coming up with so many good ideas for April. And I just, hey, Gloria, I was just thinking, oh, we could do like some sort of a version of this, but like better, but then also like, I don't know, maybe do like some tier tray stuff to go with it for April. I don't know. I have all these good ideas. We're going to see how this turns out, but if it turns out good, I might do a different type of version of this. But anyway, I was having all these ideas like, oh my gosh, we could do this and this. So I thought it would be fun. Because we can make it look a little different, or we can do a different fruit. I want to do something with peaches sometime. I think I like that. Okay, so I painted both of these little cardboard, what's going to be watermelon slices, and I'm going to set these aside so they can dry a little bit, and then we will finish them. I'm just looking at the side of this, like, should I paint the tops? But I'm not going to. Okay, so this is nice and dry. So what I'm gonna do now is take this template and just kind of center it in the sign, on the sign, in the sign. You can fold down these corners if you want. I'm afraid to tape it. So I think I might clip it with a little clamp here, also from the Dollar Tree by the checkout. They're my favorite clamps. So I'm just gonna kind of clip it in place so that it's, you know, doesn't move around. Then I'm gonna take transfer paper. This is a very old piece of transfer paper, and put it face down, so shiny side down. And I should have put a list together of all this with Amazon links for you guys just to make it easier. But, you know, I threw that list together like at, I don't know, 2:30. So let me know if you want me to do that, and I will. So I'm gonna lay this flat on here. Then I am going to get a pencil, and I'm just gonna trace this lettering design here, and you see it's going to transfer the image on the sign. So you can thicken up these letters once you get ready to kind of write them on your sign if you want. I was just trying to kind of go a little bit fast, so I didn't do it on here, but usually when I do lettering templates, like in the membership or something, I, you know, make them like super thick and exactly the way I want it to look on the sign. Okay, so I was thinking about painting this first and then doing the lettering on top of that. So I'm not gonna write is, I'm just gonna do this so that I can paint that, and then I'll go back and pencil that on top of it. And I always check and make sure everything transferred before I take this off. I forgot to dot my I. Not that I can't dot it myself, but I'm just gonna do that. So I'm gonna unclip that, do that, and look how beautifully that transferred. And so now we just go over it with our marker. Isn't that lovely? So I am using, Carrie said, or my husband said that the paint prices are about to go up. He told me the raw material name, but I forgot what it was. His company uses it too, and it's becoming harder to find due to the whole Ukraine Russian thing. Everything's going up. It's just, yeah, buy stock in paint. I know it's yeah, it's everything's going up. It's crazy. I did want you to forget the word is, but that's because I'm going to paint this first, and then I'm going to go back and do is on top of it. So that's why I didn't forget it. Okay, so Carrie, will you remind me in the membership to just remind everybody of that? I'm going to try to kind of sit down and think of our projects for the next multiple months. So maybe I could give everybody like a list of paint colors so that they could go ahead and, you know, buy their paint for the next several months. That might be a good idea. Okay, so now I'm painting, I'm doing the lettering. You could either do this with a paintbrush, or sometimes I will use a black Posca paint pen, or I'll use my Faber-Castell marker. And I have the link to that on Amazon if anybody wants to get it. Okay, so I'm just gonna go over these. Be careful not to like smudge your hand on the lettering. So that's kind of the hard, like, it's hard to do that lettering right when you can't put your hand down. If you need to, sometimes it helps to just put a piece of paper down so that you can just lay it flat. Still, you don't want to like smudge too much, but it might help, like if you have lotion on your hands or something like that. Sometimes it can smear a little bit. So I'm just tracing this L. And again, like if you get out of the lines or anything, it's fine. Like it can be a little bit bigger. I made the letters really skinny with the intention that I was probably going to thicken them up as I was writing them. But usually I try to kind of go over it once, and then I kind of just thicken it up as I go. So I did that one pass. I'm just going to kind of scoot over a little bit and get a little bit thicker. So I just try to do it a little bit at a time. And I don't necessarily trace the whole entire letter at once. Like I'll dissect it into pieces and do whatever is easiest. So, you could turn, maybe if you wanted to turn your arm here, and then you could do this part. That was easier for you. You could do it like that. Just gonna thicken up this just a little bit. And if you can see right here, I have that piece is not totally smooth. So then I would just kind of just try to smooth it out a little bit at a time until you get it the way you want. But just make sure that you keep the same consistency of your letters throughout the whole word. You don't want one letter to be really fat and then all the other letters to be skinny. So you want it to look the same so that no attention is going to be drawn to that one particular letter. If you accidentally get one letter really thick, just go back through and make all your other letters match it so that it's just not noticeable. Sometimes it happens and it just is what it is, just got to be okay with it. Hey, Heather, what brand of paint pen are you using? This is not a paint pen. It is Faber-Castell. It is India ink. This is my pen that I use for just about all my lettering, not everything, but a good bit of black lettering. So the only thing with using this marker is that you don't need to, or don't use a brush sealer to seal it. You need to use the spray because the brush sealer will smear it. Okay, so that is that. And then I haven't decided what color to make that. I think I'm going to do that one red. Thank you, Carrie. I appreciate that. Okay, so Juanita, Carrie listed that link for you. So we're just going through. And again, I do the one letter and then I kind of just thicken it up just a little bit. And I do that by kind of just writing next to the original line. The curves are always the hardest. to make perfect. But don't mess with it too much, because sometimes the more you mess with it, I forgot it was so close up. Hopefully y'all didn't miss half of what I just did. I get so into what I'm doing sometimes I don't notice that. Sorry. Just be careful, like, you know, when you are lettering, especially like, you know, in a word like a letter like S or E or F or L, where you've got these like curves. It's very tempting to want to have to keep going back and like fixing them. But the more you do that, the more you are opening yourself up to making it bigger and bigger and bigger. Just because each time you go back and try to correct or straighten something, usually make it bigger. So just be mindful of that when you are fixing it. Sometimes it's better just to let it go, leave it alone. No wonder, this is an older one. It's like, why is the ink not like super dark on it? It's because of the older one. I always tape this stripe wasabi tape on my newer one because I always have like multiple ones out. Oh, that's so much better. Let's see how, oh, you probably can't see, but way better. They do make different sizes in these, and so if a smaller one works better for a project like this for you, that's good. You could get one of those, but I like the bigger ones. I think the smaller ones would just make these letters skinnier, and so in order to thicken them up, you'd have to go over them a bunch, and I think that I would end up going over them so much that I might mess up the shape of them. Okay. I'm constantly like trying to go back and look at these other letters and just make sure that everything is equal, consistent. No, that's not what I wanted to say. An equal size. The size is consistent. I think that's what I was thinking in my brain, and it came out something else. Okay. So there we have that. I know the L is a lot thicker. When I was lettering it, I was intending on thickening up these other letters. So I don't want to really go back through and have to thicken up every single letter. I think I'm going to thicken up this S though, just like it's the first letter in the words. And then I'm going to add like some cute little accents to kind of take the distraction off the fact that the L is thicker. I wanted the L thicker, but you don't want it to stand out and like look odd. And I think right now it does. So I'm going to show you something that you can do to fix that. So a lot of, sign making, painting, lettering is just really like, you're just trying to please the eye, basically. So there's a lot of things that you can do to camouflage, as I would call it, camouflage certain things. So I've gotten kind of really good at doing that. And yeah, I'm gonna add some stuff. And actually, I am gonna just make these a little bit thicker, even though I said I wasn't. I'm going to. Just gonna do it in a few little areas. So a lot of times it's just, taking a look at things and seeing what it looks like and kind of making adjustments as you go. Probably the hardest thing for me when I first started doing paint parties or teaching, because I was used to just looking at it and making those adjustments myself. And so when I had to start telling people or, making it the way that it's going to look when it's done when I'm teaching, sometimes that was, I'm not even talking right. I can't talk and paint letter. Sometimes that would be a problem for me. That would be hard because, I would just make corrections as I navigated through something. So I try to kind of teach people how to be able to do that and themselves on their stuff. And then also, I've had to learn to get things perfect ahead of time so that I wasn't making last minute changes. Okay, that looks a little bit better. And I might add some some accents and things like that once we're done. But for now, I'm gonna go ahead and paint this red real quick. And then we have our little watermelon slices here. We'll do something with those as well. And let's see, a little angled brush. Y'all be sure to ask questions if you have any. Carrie Ann said it's the best pen. It is the best pen, isn't it? I love it. So those of you just joining, we are doing painting a pizza pan from the Dollar Tree. I have this lettering template that you can screenshot. It's on my Facebook page and use it as a lettering template. So now I am painting this and cutting off some more bristles because they are going crazy over here. I'm glad that we've been doing these DIY things on Saturday. It's been fun, kind of a way to be creative and fun. And just a way to kind of show everybody, my teaching style and how I do things and stuff like that. So hopefully you guys have gotten some benefit out of it. I do have, just for anybody that doesn't know, a sign lettering course that is not open right now, but if you can get on the waiting list, I will be opening it with again, like soon, not super soon, but soon, where I kind of break down all the stuff with sign lettering and how to do it and how I do things and what I use and all that kind of good stuff. And then I also have a Procreate course, which is an app on my iPad that I use to create my lettering designs in. And then, well, bye, Jenna. Thanks for stopping by. And then I also have a monthly painting membership where we kind of do this, but like a little bit bigger scale and kind of more in depth. Like I send them the supplies, well, the wooden door hanger and the stuff to make the bow. They just get the paint. And we just kind of, they have a whole template where they can just trace on the whole entire design, and we kind of go through these tutorials like this. We do a different project each month, and we do some other stuff in the group as well, but we are going to be doing a little bit more lettering tutorials and giving them a little bit more lettering help also. So that is opening up tomorrow. So if you are interested in doing this and you like it and it's fun and relaxing, I have a monthly membership where we do this every month, and it's a lot of fun. There's several of the ladies are watching live right now. It's a lot of fun, and it's just kind of a good, easy way to craft without having to like get overwhelmed thinking of what you're going to do, right? Like anytime I do a new craft, that's how I feel. I get on Pinterest and I'm like, by the time I finish looking around, I'm so overwhelmed because I'm like, no, I don't know what to do because there's so many cute things to do. Which one should I do? I still do that to this day, like planning for this, for example. It was like, oh, but should I do one with lemons, or should I do a watermelon, or should I do whatever? So it's kind of nice sometimes just to have somebody say, this is the project we're doing. I'm going to teach you this. And I just noticed something here. And this is what we're going to be doing. So for me, like I kind of think that is one of the great things about the membership is that you almost don't have to sit and think and decide and ponder what you're going to do. Somebody else can make that decision for you. The older I get, the less decisions I want to have to make. You know, I don't know if y'all are that way, but it's like, I think we're like, I'm overloaded with stuff and I don't want to make any decisions. So here are my two little cardboard watermelons. I'm going to do this outer edge here. And I'm just going to take, since we had, I just have a green paint pen, Posca paint pen. Just be faster. I'm just going to kind of go over the edge of this here. Can y'all see that? And that works beautifully on here. If you can see like how well that works. So anyway, if any of you are interested, that opens up tomorrow. And if you get on my email list, go to my website, you can go to, there's a menu tab at the top, Sign Makers Society. Click on that and you can get on the wait list, which just means that we'll send you an email letting you know when it's open again, which will be tomorrow. But so you don't have to remember. Because we are inundated with so much information that, you know, even though you think you're going to remember, you don't. At least that's how my brain works. I have the intentions of telling people stuff all the time, and I'm like, I'll screenshot stuff on my phone and I like never even go back to it, totally forget. And it's just getting worse and worse and worse, I think, just with social media. I don't know, do y'all do that? Like I just feel like I have notes everywhere, but I still forget stuff. So it's just nice to have that reminder. But anyway, I just open that up for new members like every, I don't know, maybe a few times a year, 4 times a year, maybe 3, 4. So that will just be open. These greens are a little different. For a few days if you want to join. And like I said, I mail the wood cutout and the bow and all that good stuff and supply you with a list, templates, all that good stuff. And then we paint just like this. And you can ask questions as we go, all that good stuff. So Juanita, right now it is $47 a month. That includes your shipping and your sign. So the door hangers are pretty big. They are, they're usually bigger than this. So it's pretty big. And then I mail all the ribbon for the bows. I show you how to do that. And then the string hanger. So I'm thinking of doing an option that doesn't include the sign, that's just a lower price point for people that just want to learn, but maybe they don't want to do that project every month. I'm thinking about doing that. So there may be a lower price point added in that has the option without the sign. I did that when I first opened it up. So the membership is almost 2 years old. I did that when I first opened it up, but not a lot of people ever chose that option. But I'm thinking, you know, my audience has grown a lot more DIYers. And so I think that, you know, for those people that just want to learn how to do stuff, it's like kind of a cheaper price point so that you, it's more affordable. You're still getting all the tutorials and all the templates and everything. And you still have the option to purchase the sign if you want. I give all my members 20% off of any blank cutouts. And they get 50% off of any templates that are listed online that I sell. And there is also a whole entire library of past projects that we've done that you have access to, all those templates, supply list, everything. You just need to buy the cutout. So there is all that too. And we are going to be doing like monthly challenges where we just kind of do extra fun kind of contests and stuff like that, and lettering worksheets, doing like some lettering tutorials each month. So there's all that as well. So there's just a lot of information, but it's just nice because it's kind of a closed Facebook group, and there's a lot of ladies in there, and they just kind of post things that they're working on or questions that they have. I check it regularly, so I'm in there all the time. And it's just kind of a nice little, really a resource for craftiness and painting and learning, lettering, and all that kind of good stuff. And then also, I also give my members 20% off of any online courses that I do. So there's a lot of benefits to it. And it's fun and it's enjoyable, and yeah. And you have the permission to use the templates to make your own signs to sell. So if you're a maker and you can use the designs that I do in the group to make door hangers with that design and sell those. So it really, you would just sell one sign and it would pay for itself. So anyway. Okay, so this is what we look like so far. I'm gonna let this dry before I do the is inside there. Here's our little, I don't really know where I'm gonna put these, but I just had this idea at the last minute. Diane, you had posted a picture in the membership of a sign similar, well, a watermelon sign, but it had like a little watermelon here on the bow. And I was like, oh my gosh, it's so cute. I might start including something like that on y'all signs in your monthly membership signs. Wouldn't that be cute? Just to hot glue it there. How much cuter does that make your bow? So I loved that idea. Carrie said it's a lot of fun, and if she can do it, anyone can. Yeah, Carrie signed up for the painting membership just in the very beginning, right, Carrie? And she was like, I didn't even know if I could do it, but you said anybody can do it, so I signed up. And she does great. She paints signs every month. She's like, I never thought I would be good at this, but I am. And she's does a great job. So anyway, I really kind of break it down step by step, kind of like this, and make it a lot very easy to do. I think, like, I feel like anybody can do it if you just know what you're supposed to do and what you need to do. It's not as hard and overwhelming as it feels like it would be. So I'm a firm believer in that. Okay. All right. So, just keep seeing little pieces that I want to straighten out here. So I'm going to add a little bit of accents to the lettering. This is what I love to do, but it's also, the ladies in the membership that are here can tell you it is a little hard to get used to doing. But I also, in the membership, there are also a whole bunch of tutorials that you can watch over just all kinds of different stuff. Brushes that I use, pens, like just all kinds of things. So it's another good resource. But I periodically will have like sessions on how to accent, because it can be a little bit difficult. Okay, so I'm just grabbing my paintbrush and I'm doing some just little accents. This helps really good too if you feel like your letters are kind of shaky or crooked looking. If you just throw some accents on it, a lot of times it just kind of takes the attention away from just those stark black letters, and it kind of almost fools the eye to not be able to like pick up on those shaky lines, I promise. And I just kind of blot off the extra paint and just kind of dash the inside of the letters. Just kind of adds a little, I don't know, little extra touch to it. So if any of you do this sign yourself, send me a picture or post it and tag me in it. I'd love to see what you guys are doing. Juanita emailed me a picture of her sign that I did last week. Feels like it was longer than last week, but and I love it. I love seeing what y'all do and knowing that you used what I taught you. It's fun. What was I just gonna do? Oh yeah, I'm gonna do, where's that green paint pen? I'm just gonna outline this in green. Just a little bit. And then let's see. I'm going to take this white and I'm just going to kind of do some little accents here. White is just, adding these accents just makes the world of difference. Just brightens things up a little bit. Okay. Yes, Juanita, you can post to my page anytime, or you can post to your page and tag me in it. You can do that too. Either way, you used to be able to post to my page. I don't know if you can still do that. I think so. But if you can't, you can even send it in Facebook Messenger if you want. And I think that you can put it on your page and tag me in it. If you do that, just send me a message and let me know you did that so I can just make sure I get it. Because Facebook's weird and they change stuff all the time and I can't ever keep up with it. So let's see. Or if you ever do, I don't know if you're on Instagram. You're on Instagram, aren't you, Juanita? Yeah, I think you sent me a message there. You could post it in your stories and tag me. And then it sends me a message that you tagged me. So I do know that. So I'm thinking that I'm just going to do like some little, some kind of like that. What else do I want to do? I don't know. I feel like that balances this out a little bit. I kind of want to do a line here, but then I'm afraid maybe I shouldn't. I don't know. Camera's crooked. Let's see. I'm going to do the word is right here. So that's going to, okay, Juanita said she didn't think she can post. Okay, you may not be able to. A long time ago you could, but again, they change everything all the time. So what you can do is just put it in your like Instagram stories and then just do at Canvas Sign Designs and it will tag me and it sends me a message. So I can just see that. I can add it to my story. That's the best, I think, way to do it because I know I will see it then. Okay, so I'm putting off doing the hot glue things because I don't know how it's going to turn out. All right, so real quick before I do that, I'm going to add some little seeds to these little watermelons here, okay? And all I'm going to do is just do like a little raindrop sort of look. And I'm just going to kind of, I don't know what I'm going to do. Like I maybe just do it like this, like around these edges. And if you want to, like, if you're doing this and you want to pencil it out first, that's probably what I would typically do. Just so I know I'm not going to run out of room. Or you can kind of just dot it, you know, where you're going to do this. You know how to space them out. I've just done this so many times that I know what I need to do or where I need to put them. Okay, aren't those cute? And again, just cardboard, easy. I am going to add some accents to this just to kind of brighten it up a little bit. Let's see. I'm going to go just around this edge just a little bit. And I'm just very lightly. I dip my brush into the white paint, but I also just almost just scrape all of it off so that there's just barely any on my brush so that it doesn't get too blobby or too thick. So just like that. And then I'm just using the very tip of this brush, very, very tip of it to make that accent line. And don't put very much pressure on your brush. And then I'm going to take this and do, I'm trying to think of how I'm going to show you what I'm doing. You'll see that? I'm just going to kind of like do like a little dash on the one side of all these. See, and it just kind of makes it not look so dull and dark. Okay. And you could do one across the top. I'm not going to do that because sometimes too much is too much. Less is more. What's that thing? Okay. All right. We're going to put these somewhere on the sign. Oh yeah, I need to do my S. Like either on the bow or I think I might, you know, you can, that kind of looks goofy, but you can maybe do it right there if you wanted to. I don't know. Maybe here. probably don't need two, but since I was only planning on doing one, but since there was a circle and I couldn't have, I had two, so why not? Or you could even really put one like right here. Your right is on that. That'd be kind of cute. It's probably what I should have done, but whatever. Probably what I need to do is do some of these because that looked really kind of cute. This might not be a good idea because the word that I'm going to write on here, but maybe I'll do that in white. See, I got too many there. One more time, I keep washing this brush and then I use it again. Okay. All right. It's kind of cute, huh? I mean, it's not as cute as this one, but whatever. Okay, I'll do the lettering in white on that in just a minute once it dries, and I'm going to use this Posca, sorry, this Posca paint marker, but I'm going to let that dry before I do that. They do make white graphite paper. I'm going to grab some. I wasn't planning on doing this, but you can, you know what? No, I'm just going to go with black just because that's what I told everybody, and that just makes it easier. So if you'll just take this, make sure all this is dry, and just kind of line your watermelon up. Just make sure that it's lined up. I can kind of see it through the paper a little bit, but just kind of do this, make sure that you have it on decently, or, you know, evenly, whatever. And then I'm just going to do this, and I'm going to go over these, or this letter, or this word there. And it does cover a large portion of that, but that's okay. And then see, that's just going to take attention away from the fact that my black dots are uneven, so that's good. Nobody will ever know. So you could do this with white if you wanted to. But I'm going to put some white accents in it so you'll be able to see it. My initial, I was just going to do that completely red, but it kind of changed my ideas. That black is still a little bit wet, so. So if you wanted to do this word in white, it would probably show up better. I'm gonna let it dry a little bit more, and I'm gonna go over it. I'm just gonna go over it in white. Okay. Now for the ribbon. Okay, so here's what I was thinking. And again, this may not work, okay? Y'all are gonna see me test it out, but I just had this idea. I guess I could super glue it if I wanted to, but I'm gonna try hot glue first, okay? Who thinks this is gonna work out? Can't figure out how to tag on Instagram. You should just be able to do the @ symbol and then do Canvas sign designs, all one word. And it should kind of pop up like in blue or something, or on the stories, then a bunch of accounts at the bottom will pop up and you should see mine, and just click on that and then that tags me. Okay, so I have this stuff from the Dollar Tree, which I love. I've been adding it in my bows lately and it's so cute. Look, just adds just, you know, some little extra excitement. So I thought it would be cute. I just had this green, both these greens. And I thought it would be cute to twist them and glue them around the border. I'm not sure if that's going to work out because, again, hot glue, but we're going to see. Okay. We're going to try it out. Let's see, maybe if I tie this in. So I got the two pieces here. It's the first time I've ever done this. So I'm going to tie it in a knot. Okay. And then I'm just going to twist. I wonder if I twist, periodically tie it in a knot. I'll kind of just keep it twisted. I don't know. We'll see. I have my hot glue gun here. Okay, I'm not going to put a ton of hot glue on here because I don't want it to be, I'm going to start here because this is where my bow is going to be. Because I don't want it to be like too much. I just want it to be enough. It's better work, or I just put hot glue all over the sign I just painted. And I'm just gonna let this sit here for a minute. And I'm gonna pray this works. If it doesn't, we will go to plan B. Maybe I need to put more. Like it dried. If you're just tuning in, I'm trying this. I'm trying to do this for the first time ever, and I don't know if it's going to work. So if it doesn't work, that's why. But if it doesn't work, I can do ribbon too. But I'm trying to see if I can get this to stick on here without melting it. If it melts or it doesn't work, then we're going to try something else. But yay. It was just an idea that I had. I'm going to put a dot of hot glue on the, like on this green right here. So this top green will stick to it. Diane said that's why she's watching first before attempting it. Yes. I'm being your guinea pig. Usually I would not, you know, obviously do something like, I would try something like this before, but I just thought, you know, this is a little Facebook Live and it's not like y'all are paying for this information, so we can just experiment, right? Okay, so I'm gonna put another strip of hot glue. I'm gonna put a little bit more just because it seemed to not melt that. And I'm gonna twist this and hold it in place for a minute. If this works, I'm gonna be really proud of myself. Because I usually don't do like projects like this, just because I'm so busy being crafty with, you know, what I'm selling or, you know, my business stuff that I don't really have a lot of time to play, which is hard for somebody like me who is crafty, because I like to do that kind of stuff. But when you craft for a living, you're almost crafted out. And, you know, when you have free time, that's not what you want to do. So it's been fun to do these Facebook Lives because it's kind of forced me to try some of these things out. I used to get on Pinterest all the time and try like these just random crafts out all the time before I had my business. Because, you know, I've always been creative, and when you're a creative person, you need to create all the time. You know, you're always wanting to create. Oh, that's turning out so cute. So I used to always make things for my kids or for their, you know, school, classrooms, you know, things like that. I would always be doing all the time. And I really haven't been doing as much of that over the last several years. So this has been really fun. Okay. And again, those of you just tuning in, feel free to ask any questions if you want. I am just twisting this and gluing. Would be cute too if you had a third color, like even the red, you could do like braid it, you know. That would be cute too. I thought about doing that, but I was like, nah, I think I'm just gonna keep it at the greens. The greens were cute. And this mesh stuff I got at Dollar Tree too. This is so cute. I made this lettering layout and I was just like, ladies that are in my membership, I was like, do I want to save this for the painting membership? Because that is a really cute lettering layout. But I didn't. So y'all getting that free. Everybody's getting this cute little design for free. And it's the first time I've ever done it. So it's brand new. And you'll see it on my Facebook page. I posted a post earlier today with some pictures. It is in there, so you can just screenshot it on your phone and then print it out and use it. So just make sure when you print it out, you print out in landscape mode so that it will be like longer. Or you can change around the sizing on your printer and do make it smaller or blow it up a little bit if you want to do a bigger sign with it. Ouch. Just burned myself. My hot glue just peeled off of that. Kind of got to do this fast because it is drying fast, which is usually it doesn't, but I don't know. I was thinking super glue would work too if you don't have a hot glue gun. But if you don't have a hot glue gun, you need a hot glue gun because everybody needs a hot glue gun, right? It's like that craft staple item. You can do anything with a hot glue gun. My daughter brings me things all the time to fix. I have an eyeball here from something. She's like, can you glue this back? She's always asking me to glue things. She thinks I can fix anything. My 4-year-old. She thinks I can fix anything with my hot glue gun. You can also, they do have like that thick rope. It would be cute if you wanted to do that on here. Maybe you could just spray paint it green if you wanted to do that. I just didn't have any at home. This is what I had, and I was trying to, you know, use what I had. Carrie said, Sam's has a cordless one for $15. I did not know they had cordless hot glue guns. Where have I been? Of course they have cordless hot glue guns. That's dumb, right? I literally just got that hot glue gun 2 years, no, not this last Christmas, but the Christmas before. I was using, until then, I had this tiny little hot glue gun that fell over every time I tried to stand up, and it was terrible. Like, and it didn't hold very much because it was little. And I told my family, I want a new hot glue gun for Christmas. And so they got me this one, and I like it. It's got a cord. But yeah, how bad is that? And I'm about to show y'all a trick that I learned on TikTok last week. In just a minute. I'm gonna go ahead and cut that. Just okay, y'all ready for this trick that I just saw? Take your hot glue gun, being like this one is running out, and put, y'all may already know this, I don't know, I didn't. Just put some glue on the tip of this and stick it in there. And it will feed through, so you're not having to like push it. Isn't that cool? Let's see here. See, it just grabs, it grabs the new, because you know when you need to go change it and then it doesn't like, it doesn't feed through right for a minute. And you gotta like push it. Crafty new little trick. Yeah, Carrie Ann said she saw that too. It's genius, right? Like, why you see stuff sometimes and you're like, why has that never dawned on me to do that? Like, why? That's what I love about TikTok. You know, I learn all kinds of information on TikTok. Okay. It's like one of those apps that I never thought that I would like so much. If you're not on TikTok, it's more than just pointing and dancing. There's all kinds of like DIY stuff on there. It's awesome. But it will ruin your attention span and make things like what I'm doing seem like it's taking years. It probably still seems that way, but okay, so I'm just gonna tie this in a knot just to kind of keep it together here at the end. Ooh, that would be cute too. See how that's cute, like that kind of loose knot, like almost like, you know, they make those big loopy crochet blankets, like do that with this, like all the way down. Wouldn't that be cute? I'm gonna have to try that out too. I'm afraid this may come up. Feels like it's wiggling up. But maybe that's just where I just put this. So I'm gonna put some more glue here. So just be fragile. Oops, you can't even see what I'm doing. Just be fragile with what you're doing. Be fragile with this in case it like falls off. And put, you know, a decent amount of glue on here. I think when I started out, I was too scared I was gonna melt it. So I didn't put a lot of glue. But it appears to be fine. So I'm adding a little bit more in a couple of spots. just kind of have to hold it down for a minute to make sure that it dries. So I'm giving this disclaimer. I don't know how long this is going to stay on here or how well it's going to stay, but I tried it and it seems to be doing pretty good in most of these spots. So I'm just going back through and adding a little bit more hot glue. I guess I don't have to show you guys that, but here we are. I'm doing it anyway. That all seems to be good. So I think we're a success. That's exciting. That was like worried about how disastrous this might be. This was like my whole like inspiration. And I saw this in my little crafting closet and I was like, ooh. I went in there to see if I had any like corded, like any corded rope. I don't know why I say crafting closet because my whole house is a crafting closet pretty much. But where I keep my ribbon, my bow closet is really what it is. Okay, so I'll go back through and kind of hot glue any areas that need it, but not while y'all are watching so that this doesn't last 5 years. Okay. Trying to get better at teaching fast, but it's just not a strong suit of mine. Sorry. Okay. So I just kind of I started it and stopped it where the bow was going to go so that you wouldn't be able to see these little knots. Okay. So next I just had this like buffalo check ribbon left over from Christmas. So I got this. You could use that. Or you could even drill like 2 holes here if you wanted to and put your string through there, but we are gonna use this. So I'm just gonna kind of measure this long enough. Another hack with your ribbon. If you have a bunch of ribbon, I just take a rubber band. Y'all probably already know this, but I just put it around here just to keep it from unraveling. So I bought a whole bag of like rubber bands and that's what I use on all my ribbons. Okay. Also, I got to figure out where we are going to put this. Do we need to put this or do we need to leave it off? Should we put it there? Y'all tell me. Y'all put in the comments if I should put it there or no. We could put it like, I'm afraid it will get knocked off if we do it there. So I'm gonna wait for y'all to tell me watermelon, should it go there? Yes or no? Okay. All right. So I know, well, I was thinking both, Diane. I was thinking put one on the bow. Is that too many watermelons in one here? Is it too much? Tell me what you think. Just on the bow or on the bow and here? Here's this, and then, or like this. Y'all tell me. Sometimes it can be too much, so. While I wait for y'all to tell me, I'm going to put it on the bow. Everybody's saying on the bow, but I want to know on the bow and on the thing. Carrie said both. I want somebody else to make that decision for me. Okay, so I'm just taking this cardboard and we're gonna go with this and see what happens. Okay. Just holding it in place for a minute. Probably could have gotten away with making this one a little bit smaller, but whatever, I think it's cute. How cute is that? So cute. I feel like it needs to go here though. Like I did it in the wrong spot. So we'll just kind of semi-cut. I like them on the side, but not always, but I feel like it balances out this situation. But I have to hide that, so it may not go. All right, so y'all think we should put one here too, right? So here we go. I'm proud of this sign. It's cute. Thanks for watching and giving me advice, everybody. It's more fun when we create together, you see? I always get stuck on the design process. Like I'm always like, I almost have like too many ideas in my head all the time. And so I can't ever decide like which one of those ideas I should do. So, okay, so I'm very gently going to put this, make sure it's straight. And I am going to if you don't want to hang it, then you don't have to do this. Obviously, you could, you know, it could sit on a little, what are those things called? A plate stand. Yeah, plate stand, that's it. But if you do want to hang it, then you're going to need to hang it with something. And hopefully that super glue stays. I am telling you all this is the first time I've ever done this sort of project, so I don't know how well it sticks to this metal long term. But you could, if you had problems with it and you wanted to hang it, you could get a drill and drill holes in here to keep it on. And I'm just going to add a little bit of glue like right here. Again, you don't have to, I'm always extra, you know, but I just want to make sure that it kind of stays in place, and I think it'll like keep the pressure off of that one spot a little bit. How cute is that? Okay. I'm so proud. Okay. Now, and I just did my bow with a little zip tie. I don't know if y'all can see that. Let's put some more glue in the middle of that. And then you can just hot glue it on the pan here. Just putting a whole bunch of glue on here. Just trying to let it dry. Good. And you could always go back and put more in certain spots. But there we go. How cute is that? It's a little much, but probably could have toned down the bow a little bit, but you know, whatever. So there you go. There's our little Life is Sweet sign. I think it turned out really good. Yay. Okay, does anybody have any questions? Oh yeah, I was gonna do this. I think I'm gonna kind of go back through this a little bit more. I just went over this black just because I was afraid you couldn't see it real good. It's, you know, still needs like another coat. White is just the terrible. Okay, so also another fun thing that you can use is this glitter glue. So you could put like, you know, glitter glue on something. I think that this is what I recommend in my membership all the time is this extreme glitter. It's hologram. And I like it because it can go on any, like any, over any color, and it still gives it a shiny look. So I'm just gonna do that real quick. We just thought we were done. I'm just gonna kind of, because it just gives that little extra like sparkle. And you might want to also, before you put your bow on, just spray some sealer over it so that maybe it'll protect it. Like obviously this, you're gonna have to be a little bit more careful. You don't want the paint to scrape off. So you need to be a little bit more fragile with it. It's not gonna be as durable as a wood sign would be, but still fun nonetheless. So I'm just gonna put some on these little seeds. This is like, it's hard to see glitter in pictures when you do it on your sign, but when you see it up close or in person, you can see it. So I just go over the top of these letters. Just kind of gives it a little shine. Okay, you guys can't see from there, but hopefully you can kind of see a little bit of shimmer. It looks better like in person. You can see it a little bit more, but it just adds a little bit of cuteness. Cute. Okay, So Diane said, thank you so much for showing us this craft. Possibilities are endless for sure. Yes, lots of cute ideas. It's so cute. I love it. We might have to do a little, like I said, a little variation of this in the membership because this is super cute. I love it. So thank you everybody for watching. Again, if anybody is interested, my painting membership does open tomorrow. It will be like tomorrow evening. I think at 6 is when the official like doors are open, whatever. So just be on the lookout for that. If you're on my email list, you'll get an email and I'll be posting it on all my pages. But anyway, the signups for that. And we basically do this same thing, except for I provide the wood cutouts and the ribbon. And usually there's just, a little bit more support and instructions and stuff like that. And then I also offer a kit, let's see, what's it called? The starter kit, sign maker starter kit. When you join, if you want to purchase a kit, and it's got all of my like most used supplies in it. So it's got like the graphite paper, it's got one of these markers, it's got one of these Posca pens, it's got a whole set of 2 sets of paint brushes. It has a large base coating paintbrush. It has like a chip brush. It has some of those dot sponge brushes. It's just got a lot of stuff so that you are not having to run out and buy all these supplies. So some people do and some people can and some people want to, but some people don't have time. So for those that don't have time, I kind of put all of our most used supplies so that you can kind of get started right away. And all you're having to really do is just buy your paint. Everything else is provided for you. So anyway, that is that. Thanks for spending your Saturday with me. And I will see you guys, probably be jumping on here maybe tomorrow or I know a few other times throughout the week, just advertising the Sign Maker Society thing. You're welcome, Juanita. Thanks for being so supportive and always coming to these. I don't know what we're going to do next week, but we will do something. No, well, I have plans next week. I actually have to leave the house on Saturday. So I'm either going to do it earlier or maybe on Sunday instead or something. I don't know. We'll rearrange that somehow. If we need to skip next week, I will. But anyway, we're going to be doing more stuff like this. I'm going to try to do this, like on a weekly basis. So anyway, y'all have a good Saturday. I will see lots of you inside Sign Maker Society, but all the other folks, I will see you on Facebook or next time we meet for a project. So have a great rest of your weekend.